a very painful turn after she reportedly tried to hide the bottle inside a body cavity. Authorities say the bottle later shattered, sending the 48-year-old to the hospital before she was taken into custody. She now faces multiple charges, and it's safe to say that the bottle definitely did not age well. And that's where we end Caribbean Week in Review. Join us again next week when we recap the stories making headlines across the region. I'm Renee Sion.
Bahamas brought the heat to the Spice capital at the 53rd Carifta Track and Field Championships. Relive the magic here on the ZNS Network as we recap the top performances from Grenada. Catch the 2026 Carifta Track and Field Championships recap, May 31st, here on the ZNS Network.
The internet isn't just for surfing. There's a sea of shoppers buying online, and you can connect with them on Tingsy. Tingsy is the SBDC's online storefront built for Bahamians. Take your business to the next level by selling to customers online, both at home and around the world. People want Bahamian things, and if you got things to sell, sell on Tingsy. Find out how you can connect with a sea of buyers by visiting tingsybahamas.com.
At the 66 Steps, I'm Matea Cunningham. This is ZNS. This is the Bahamas Tonight, the Northern Edition. Here's a look at tonight's top stories.
Grand Bahama Chamber President encouraged by government vision for Grand Bahama. Family fares worst after Grand Bahama woman disappears. 3 charged in Abaco over Bahamian flag burning incident.
The Bahamas Tonight Northern Edition starts now.
Welcome to the Bahamas Tonight, the Northern Edition. I'm Shalia Rule, and as always, it's a pleasure to have you with us. Grand Bahama Chamber of Commerce President Ralph Hepburn is giving his take on remarks made about Grand Bahama in the speech from the throne, which outlined the government's plan for the island's future. Overall, Hepburn says the chamber is encouraged by what has been presented so far, noting that the proposals signal positivity, growth and opportunity for Grand Bahama. Our Matthew Martin Barrow leads us off tonight.
Following the speech from the throne at Parliament's opening on Wednesday, Grand Bahama Chamber of Commerce President Ralph Hepburn says it's a positive sign overall, seeing the island being specifically highlighted during the honorary address. Hepburn says the newly introduced administration must capitalize on engaging with stakeholders around the island for the progress to be truly evident.
In order for that to happen, we will have to look at how does the government engage the stakeholders in Grand Bahama. And when I say stakeholders, not only businesses, residents, businesses, and all of the agencies. How do we now pull all this off by working together to achieve a common goal for the movement of Grand Bahama forward?
The Chamber President also noting that professional and conducive communication is vital to ensure the slated projects meet expectations for the Davis administration and Grand Bahamians.
Communication is key, is very important. Honest and frank communication helps even better. When we speak to developments, when we speak to changes, when we speak to progress, we have to be able to flesh that out so people have a better understanding of what is going to be involved in how we're going to get these things going.
Additionally, Hepburn underscores that time is of the essence for this administration, now given its second term in office.
You cannot just throw something out there and wait for another 4 years to come back and say, well, this is what we said we were going to do, and this is what we achieved or did not achieve. In order to achieve it, you need to have everyone working together, and in order to have everyone working together, we must know what's going on.
The Chamber President says he is all for the progress in Grand Bahama as the economic landscape continues its upward trend. Nonetheless, the Chamber will carry out its duty to hold the Davis administration accountable for the betterment of Grand Bahama's present and future. For the Bahamas Tonight, the Northern Edition, I'm Matthew Martinborough.
And developers on Grand Bahama are also welcoming the government's plan to speed up the approval process for major development projects, saying the move could help remove long-standing roadblocks that have delayed investments and economic growth on the island. Jolanda Thompson-Everest has that story.
Contractor and developer Louis Mizik of Masako Investments is applauding the government's plan to speed up approvals for development projects, saying delays have frustrated contractors and discouraged potential investors for years. However, Mizik says the issue goes beyond central government, noting that the Grand Bahama Port Authority plays a major role in the approval process. He says it's essential for both sides to work together to ensure projects can move forward in a timely manner.
The government will have to have an amalgamation with the Building and Development Department, which I assume that it's a good relationship to have the process move through faster so that the construction sector can experience a positive income from these projects that are in the pipeline.
The developer says lengthy approval processes can create a damaging ripple effect across the wider economy, impacting far more than just investors and contractors.
It will trickle down to employees, purchases, import exports for various different products that will be needed for a development plan, because every plan is unique to itself.
He says the government's push to accelerate the approval process could place more people back to work and get projects moving again. However, Mizik notes that because of the layers of bureaucracy involved, blame cannot be placed on one entity at this stage.
Because of the information not being publicly exposed, we at times don't know whether it's the developer or the Building and Development Department. And so the public would need to be appraise more of the aspects of where are these proposals in the pipeline.
Mizik says for the government's plan to work, collaboration between government agencies and the Port Authority's Building and Development Department is key. Still, he applauds the government for being committed to improving the process and delivering for the Bahamian people. For the Bahamas Tonight, the Northern Edition, I'm Jolanda Thompson-Everest.
Now, as food prices continue to climb and concerns grow over the country's dependence on imported goods, one Grand Bahama farmer believes the answer may lie closer to home. The owner of Berkshire Bahamas Farms is welcoming the government's agenda aimed at strengthening local agriculture and reducing food imports. Jolanda Thompson-Everest reports.
From farm fields to family tables, the call for greater food security is becoming louder in the Bahamas. Now, the owner of Berkshire Bahamas Farm says the government's plan to support local farmers and cut food imports could strengthen the agricultural industry.
We depend heavily on import, and even with what we do farming-wise, you got to import the feed, you have to import all the inputs for us to farm. So we have to find different ways to pivot and to generate revenue.
Robert says a one-size-fits-it-all approach will not strengthen the country's agricultural sector. He argues that the National Development Plan must identify what crops thrive best on each island, allowing farmers to maximize production, better sustain their livelihoods, and reduce the country's reliance on imported food.
Certain things grow differently in different climates, and our diets have become very Americanized or Africanized. So we eat a lot of rice and those kind of things, but rice doesn't grow well there. We can eat more roots and tubers.
The farm founder notes that while government cooperatives already exist, stronger public-private partnerships are needed to help educate farmers on how those cooperatives can operate effectively, sustainably, and at a certain standard.
At this stage, we're not growing enough to even be competing against each other. So if anything, we want to be able to raise our standards on how well we grow our food, work along with the Bahamas Bureau of Standards and Quality.
While the government did not outline specific plans for how it intends to support local farmers and expand the agricultural industry, Robert shares several initiatives he believes should be incorporated to better assist farmers and strengthen food production across the country.
The traditional way of doing things has become more taxing, labor-intensive, and time-consuming. But if you're able to now use the technologies that are available and different, more innovative ways of doing it, it can make it easier and more attractive.
For the Bahamas Tonight, the Northern Edition, I'm Jolanda Thompson, Everest.
The government also unveiling major energy reform plans during the speech from the throne, with promises of stronger consumer protection, lower energy costs, and greater opportunities for Bahamians. The initiative includes legislation to protect electricity consumers, reduce the burden on Family Island residents, and cut import duties on energy-efficient appliances and renewable energy system. Here's that report.
Reliable and affordable energy remains central to economic competitiveness and the quality of life enjoyed by Bahamian families.
Energy reform emerging as a major priority during the speech from the throne, as the government outlined several initiatives aimed at making electricity more affordable, reliable, and accessible for Bahamians. The address noting that reliable and affordable energy remains central to the country's economic competitiveness and the quality of life enjoyed by Bahamian families. This plan outlines the Electricity Consumer Protection Code, empowering ERCA to enforce service standards, billing transparency, and consumer safeguards.
My government will also introduce energy equity legislation to ensure that Family Island residents are not penalized by higher electricity costs simply because of geography.
Another initiative is mandatory local content and training obligations in major energy contracts to ensure Bahamians benefit from the energy transformation. The government also announcing plans to introduce energy equity legislation, which would ensure Family Island residents are not burdened with higher electricity costs due to their location. The energy reform portion of the speech also highlights the government's plan to reduce or possibly eliminate import duties on energy-efficient appliances and renewable energy systems, a move expected to help lower energy costs for households and businesses across the country.
We'll also reduce or eliminate import duties on energy-efficient appliances and renewable energy systems.
In other news tonight, a Grand Bahama family is pleading for the public's help following the disappearance of their mother, who they say went missing after being discharged from hospital earlier this week. Her children say it is the first time their mother has ever disappeared, and they now fear the worst. Our Charlie Jones has the details.
She's not showing up for breakfast at her breakfast spot that she goes to on Tuesday and Thursday, so that's another red flag.
Daughters of 66-year-old Barbara Lewis is pleading for answers after their mother was reported missing on Wednesday, May 20th. According to Lewis's daughters, witnesses recall last seeing the victim at the Rand Memorial Hospital on Sunday, May 17th, where she was dropped off by her boyfriend and checked in at 1:27 p.m.
According to the Rand, she was discharged around 5 and 8 p.m. She was seen there with her boyfriend, and we haven't seen her since.
Lewis's second-born, Kenya Adderley, says they are unaware if her mother was picked up from the hospital or if she walked to her residence, but their concern is heightened due to her medical history. It is reported that Lewis suffers from seizures and mild dementia, conditions they say can worsen if she is not taking her medication.
She's able to take care of herself, and that's one of the reasons we want to look for her too, because with her having, possible fish poisoning, it could have caused her to, possibly have a seizure, and she tends to walk a lot, and we were thinking she possibly walked from the Rand home because it's uncommon for her. She's been missing from Sunday.
Family members also expressing concern over the involvement of Lewis's boyfriend. Police officials say they are actively investigating the matter and have requested surveillance footage from nearby businesses. Officials also answering questions about the woman's boyfriend, noting he cannot be named as a suspect at this time, and their line of questioning was simply investigative protocol.
If you go to the house and he's not at the house, he may be out looking for the lady that's a significant other. It could be anything. If they have any information that suggests something is wrong, I would assume that they would contact the police or speak with the police.
Overcome with emotion, family members are making one final plea for their mother to reach out or return home safely.
I would like her to at least come home or contact us or contact one of us. If she can reach out to any of her family members. I'm here, I just arrived, so she can reach out to me and let me know she's okay. And anybody that's seen her, please reach out to me and let me know she's okay.
Anyone with information is urged to contact police at 919 or Crime Stoppers at 328-TIPS. For the Bahamas Tonight, the Northern Edition, I'm Charlia Jones.
In news from the crime beat, police on Grand Bahama seized the firearm and ammunition and a suspected quantity of dangerous drugs during an operation in the Heritage subdivision on Thursday, May 21st, 2026. Preliminary reports indicate that shortly before 4 p.m., officers from the Drug Enforcement Unit, assisted by the K-9 Support Unit, conducted a search of the area while acting on information. During the operation, authorities discovered a firearm with ammunition along with a quantity of suspected marijuana, including hydroponic variants. Police say the suspected drugs weighed approximately 2.8 pounds with an estimated street value of $3,300. No arrests have been made and investigations continue. Three people of Haitian descent were arraigned in the magistrate's court in Abaco on Thursday, May 21st, 2026, after being charged with insulting the Bahamian flag. 57-year-old Andrew Dowd, 27-year-old Reslin Dowd, and 44-year-old Mary Anke Augustine appeared before Magistrate Ansela Evans, where they pleaded guilty. The trio was fined $500 each, or 3 months in prison. They were also fined $50 each for damage to the flag. Police say the matter stemmed from an incident shortly after 8 p.m. on Saturday, May 16, 2026, in Sandsbank, Abaco, where officers responded to reports that individuals had insulted the national flag at a residence in the community. Authorities say the investigation led to the arrest of 3 individuals following the alleged burning of a Bahamian flag. The court also heard that Mary Anke Augustine has no legal status in the Bahamas and was ordered deportation to Haiti. Also in news from Abaco, authorities are investigating the suspected drowning of a 68-year-old American man whose body was discovered along the shoreline in Hopetown on Friday, May 22nd, 2026. Police say officers were alerted shortly before 8 a.m. after Hopetown Fire and Rescue received reports of an unresponsive male in the water. Initial investigations revealed that the man had been traveling by vessel from the United States with his spouse and others. Authorities say the group attended a social event Thursday night before the man failed to return to the vessel. A search was later organized, during which the victim's golf cart was found near the dock area. His body was eventually discovered floating near the sanctuary dock. The man was transported to the Marsh Harbor Healthcare Center, where he was pronounced dead. An autopsy will be conducted to determine the exact cause of death. Investigations continue.
And still to come.
The blue and orange economies are coming together with the unveiling of the new underwater sculpture garden. That story, sports, and more when we come back.
It has the looks, the style, the performance. Your new car is everything you always dreamed of. Now it's here. Commonwealth Bank was happy to help put you behind the wheel with a new car loan at a competitive rate and fast, friendly approval. It's a service that just comes naturally to us, just like how love of tradition comes naturally to you. Commonwealth Bank, leader in personal banking services.
Come on down and see what Dolly Madison has in store for you. Renovate and rejuvenate at Dolly Madison.
CompuSec Printing is making room for summer with a massive store-wide sale. Get 30% off in stock items only now through July 31st. Save on shirts, hats, souvenirs, flags, indoor flagpoles, and more. Visit CompuSec Printing, West Atlantic Drive, Freeport. Open Monday through Friday, 9 to 5, and Saturdays, 9 to 2.
Save more drugs. We got you. From cosmetics to prosthetics. What you need for your family, the brands you're looking for, the quality you expect, the prices you need and deserve. Feel the love. Save more at Save More Drugs.
Here at Freeport Decorators, we have hundreds of products for you to choose from. Whether you're in the market for trophies, plaques, rubber stamps, corporate signs, any kind of interior signage, stamps, or seals, we're your one-stop shop. We feature glass, acrylic, crystal awards for every occasion. We build all the trophies here on site. Looking for a gift item? We feature pens, key rings, mugs, tumblers, barbecue tools, even bamboo cutting boards. Have something already? Bring it on down. Let us see if we can print that special something on it for you. Need a headstone? Memorialize the memory of your loved one with a beautifully lasered granite marker. Our store hours are Monday to Friday, 9 to 5. We focus on customization, so if you have an idea or a new concept, bring it on down or call us at 352-5557 or even WhatsApp your idea to us at 646-0777 and we will do our best to make your awards and recognition ideas a reality.
Your #1 team in the North. Only the sun covers the Bahamas better.
Welcome back. Beneath the waters of Grand Bahama, art, conservation, and the merging of the blue and orange economies are coming together with the unveiling of the new underwater sculpture garden. The project is designed not only to attract visitors, but also to support coral growth and marine preservation efforts across the island. An unveiling ceremony taking place today. Intern Aaron Burrows has more in this report.
The waters of Grand Bahama are now home to a brand new attraction. The official unveiling of the underwater sculpture garden developed through a partnership between the Grand Bahama Port Authority and environmental organizations. The installation aims to support reef growth and the blue economy.
At this point, we'll be introducing sculptures that can produce more corals and thus improve biodiversity in terms of the fish that will then move beyond the protected area into the fishing grounds.
What we need to do is find ways to create models for economic and social and environmental development that don't impact negatively our marine ecosystems, but actually enhance them while generating economic activity. And this is a great example of how that works.
The sculptures are not just pieces of art, but essential works designed to help preserve the ecosystem by encouraging coral growth over time, creating a countermeasure to the impacts of climate change. Located at Peterson Key, the installation merges environmental preservation with artistic innovation.
Nothing, too difficult in that, just marrying design with how the corals are going to eventually grow, creating habitat for fish. So all of those influences kind of dictated, what the designs would be.
We're thankful to the Global Environment Facility Small Grants Program who offered the funding for this project. And so here today we see this first phase, and I'm going to call it a first phase because I'm hoping that many other phases will come.
Representing the Intersect for Sustainability, this project takes a step forward, highlighting marine life and conservation here in Grand Bahama. For the Bahamas Tonight, the Northern Edition, I'm intern Aaron Burrows.
This Sunday is Pentecost, and many churches on Grand Bahama are gearing up to celebrate what Calvary Temple Assembly of God is calling a power encounter with the Holy Spirit. And that theme is exactly what Senior Pastor Robert Lockhart says attendees can expect during a conference beginning at 7 p.m. tonight and culminating on Sunday, May 24th at 10 a.m.
This conference is very important as it reminds God's people and also reaches out to the whole community of how important the presence of the Holy Spirit is in our lives so that we can receive power and strength to be all that God wants us to be, not only for ourselves, but also for our community.
Guest speaker Prophet Rob DeLuca, hailing from Orlando, Florida, says he is excited for his first visit to the Bahamas and could not pass up the opportunity to be a part of the upcoming Pentecost celebration.
I've been invited in to bring forth the glory of the Lord, the anointing. I've been invited in because we do see creative miracles, signs, and wonders in our meeting.
We salute our Facebook friend of the day, Sanaya Jaden Claire. Thank you for your support. And that's a look at stories making news. Shane, tell us what's happening in sports.
Listen, night one of the Paul Dingus Thompson softball tournament was electric. You all don't want to miss the highlights.
I can't wait to see. Thanks, Shane. Sports is up next.
See news in the making? Call us at 352-9713 or 359-5167, or you can email us at zns3news@gmail.com.
Beat the heat with powerful 12K BTU mini-split AC units now on sale for a limited time at Majestic Trucking and Retails. Experience ice-cold comfort, low energy consumption, and quiet performance, all while relaxing in comfort that's friendly to the pocket. Majestic Trucking and Retails, 2A1 Civic Industrial Bonded Area, Freeport.
Save more drugs, from cosmetics to prosthetics. What you need for your family, the brands you're looking for, the quality you expect, vitamins you need, and prescriptions you came for. Feel the love. Save more at Save More Drugs.
Hi, I want to put some shoes on your feet.
Hi, I want to put some shoes on your feet.
I still want to put shoes on your feet.
I want to put some shoes on your feet.
And I still want to put shoes on your feet.
We still want to put shoes on your feet.
2 locations to put shoes on your feet. Downtown Freeport, and now our newest location in the Carmichael City Shopping Plaza, right behind the Walk-Up Wendy's, Carmichael Road West.
Let's keep it clean. Put it in the trash, my guy. Not on the ground, not on the beach, not in the bush, not in the street. No, yeah. Just put it in the trash, my guy. Not on the ground, not on the beach, not in the bush, not on the streets. Just put it in the trash, my guy.
Bombastic side eye. Criminal offensive side eye.
Put it in the trash. Put it in the trash. That's it, that's it. Put it in the trash. Just put it in the trash. That's it, that's it. Just put it in the trash, my guy. Not on the ground, not on the beach, not in the bush, not in the street. Just put it in the trash, my guy. Yeah. Just put it in the trash, my guy. Yeah. We just gotta keep Grand Bahama clean.
Top of the evening, everyone. I'm Shane Stubbs, and welcome to the ZNS Total Sports Cave. The Police Force Royals and Cubas Destroyers set the tone for the Paul Dingus Thompson Softball Slow Pitch Invitational, currently underway at the Grand Bahama Sports Complex Thursday evening. And if you don't believe me, you can check the tape. The Royals drew first blood thanks to Desmond Russell going yard in the top of the first inning, but the bats came alive for the Destroyers early and often in the bottom of the first, where they take a 3-1 lead. The Destroyers led the way 9-6 up to the 5th inning. That's where the Royals made their comeback, putting up 5 runs, giving them the lead for good. The final score in this one, 11-10. Here's Royals pitcher Cruz Carroll on the fight the team showed and what momentum it helped build moving forward in the tourney.
Let's play ball. I keep telling them, come to play. We come to play. Let's finish strong no matter what. Even though we down, play to the end. We have the next game on Saturday. We have 2 games on Saturday, and we won the title in 2024. So we come in and we came second in 2025. So we come in to regain this title.
Chairman for the Friends for Life Committee, Darrell Ware, says Night 1 was a great indication for how competitive this year's Invitational is going to be.
As you can see, the enthusiasm is very high out here. The players come out. I think the fan participation is great. I'm urging the Grand Bahama community to come out and see some good wholesome softball. All the New Providence teams are here. So come tomorrow, we'll be going full blast.
In other scores from night one in co-ed action, the Mavericks handled business against the immigration enforcers, getting the 11-1 win. And on the men's side, Quality Wash and Press held on to knock off the CLA hitters 9-5. Saturday's full slate of games kicks off at 11 a.m. at the Grand Bahama Sports Complex. And on Sunday, the playoffs will be the highlight of the day, culminating with the co-ed and men's championships starting at 6 that evening. And in high school baseball, the St. George's Jaguars' 3-year streak as champions was on the line. The Falcons held an early 4-1 lead, but the defending champs would rally to overtake the Falcons 6-5 to secure their 4th straight senior boys title. The best pitcher title went to the Jags' Deandra Moss, and the top batter of the championship was Joshua Davis. And that's the Sports Fix this evening. Your local forecast is next. I'm Shane Stubbs. Enjoy your holiday weekend, because I know I will.
Tonight's weather forecast is brought to you by Royal Star Assurance.
'Cause it's so beautiful.
At Save More Drugs, we got you. We got what you want. We got what you need. We got what you came for. The quality you expect. The prices you need and deserve. Save more at Save More Drugs.
And that concludes the Bahamas Tonight, the Northern Edition. I'm Shalia Rule.
And I'm Shane Stubbs.
Thanks so much for tuning in. Here's a live look at the Bahamas Tonight, coming your way next.
Coming up in the Bahamas Tonight, the National Report of Healthcare prompts officials to call an emergency press briefing. Plus, a Bahamian economy expanding by 3.8% in 2025 after inflation, signaling continued economic momentum. And later, the Bahamas and Cuba strengthen ties in the fight against human trafficking. The Bahamas Tonight, the National Report starts now. Happy Friday. Good evening and welcome to the broadcast. Ministry of Health moving swiftly tonight to address a possible health scare in the country to passengers with a history of travel to areas impacted by the spread of Ebola arrived in the Bahamas on a London-bound flight early today, prompting an immediate response from health officials and emergency teams at the London Pending International Airport. Well, we're tracking everything for you. Authorities say protocols were activated quickly as officials worked to assess the situation and protect public health. Lloyd Allen joining us live at the airport with the very latest. Lloyd, what can you tell us?
Well, of course, good evening, Desmond, and good evening, Bahamas. Tonight, there remain more questions than answers. Right now, I'm here at the Diplomatic Lounge at the departure section of the Lyndon Pending International Airport. And over the course of the past few hours, officials here have been addressing a serious matter of a flight, a British Airways flight that flew into the country hours ago. And on board that flight, there were two flyers, passengers that we understand over the course of the past 4 weeks would have traveled to countries where reports of Ebola cases have been reported. Now, once those persons arrived here, we can confirm that at least one of them was taken into quarantine right here at a facility at the Lyndon Pending International Airport. And in regards to the other passengers, we're still awaiting more details on that. Now, at 6:30, right here behind me, a press conference was set to start, spearheaded by Health and Wellness Minister Dr. Michael Darville. Obviously, it's past that point, and we're still waiting for some more details in reference to the other passengers on board, what was discovered, and the details behind that. But as we hear now, there is still a bit of anxiety among some of the staff members as this suspected case has been reported. We'll have more on this story as it develops over the course of the next few hours. Reporting here from the Lyndon Pending International Airport for the Bahamas Tonight, I'm Lloyd Allen.
Lloyd Allen, thanks much. And this is a developing story that we will continue to follow for you. Well, tonight, the global health community is also monitoring this latest Ebola virus outbreak, while our hemisphere does not appear to be at serious risk. Corval Platform reports that the outbreak is taking a critical toll on Central Africa.
Magushla, about this latest bout of the Ebola virus, the Bundibugyo Ebola virus outbreak has its origins, we understand, in the Democratic Republic of the Congo, now stretching into surrounding areas in Central Africa, where estimates put the number of reported cases at nearing 750. The death count thus far stands at 177. Now, earlier today, the head of the World Health Organization, speaking specifically on the outbreak in Central Africa, said the Ebola outbreak is spreading rapidly and now poses a very high risk at a national level. The Director General adds, though, that the risk for spread at global levels remains low. The United Nations has since said that it released $60 million from its Central Emergency Response Fund to accelerate the response in the Democratic Republic of the Congo and in the region. The U.S. has pledged $23 million in funding to bolster the response in Congo and Uganda, and said it would also fund the establishment of up to 50 Ebola treatment clinics in the affected regions of Congo and Uganda. Meanwhile, closer to our shores, the United States' Center for Disease Control says to date, no suspected, probable, or confirmed cases of Ebola have been reported in the U.S., and the risk of Ebola domestically, it says, is low. However, the CDC adds public health entry screening is part of a layered approach that, when used with other public health measures already in place to detect symptomatic arriving travelers, can slow and reduce the spread of the disease into the country. Yesterday, an Air France plane headed to Detroit was diverted to Montreal, Canada, after U.S. Customs and Border Protection related that a passenger on that flight was from the Congo. An Air France spokesperson telling media the diversion represented no medical emergency and was instead an effort to comply with U.S. entry requirements.
Well, more than a week after alleged drug kingpin Jonathan Gardner was pulled from Florida waters and subsequently arrested in connection with an alleged key role in moving tons of cocaine, local officials have still not had access to the 58-year-old Foreign Affairs Minister, the Honorable Fred Mitchell, sharing as much with our news team this evening, one day after Gardner, also known as Playa and Shorty, failed to appear in court. Now, based on an affidavit filed by a DEA special agent, Gardner had the protection of Bahamian government officials and high-ranking law enforcement figures. Gardner was found last Tuesday with a crossbody bag packed with 3 cell phones, a small amount of cash, and $30,000 sealed inside an envelope bearing the handwritten name of a politician. In a statement, the government said it takes the matter seriously. Other news for you tonight, the Bahamas National Statistical Institute is reporting economic growth for 2025, with advanced GDP estimates showing the economy expanded by 3.8% after adjusting for inflation. But officials say that growth does not mean every household is feeling relief. Islam Akaka.
The Bahamian economy grew in 2025, according to new advanced gross domestic product estimates released by the Bahamas National Statistical Institute. BNSI officials declared that economic activity increased 7.3% in nominal terms and 3.8% in real terms when compared to 2024. The economy was valued at $17.2 billion in current prices and $15.2 billion in constant prices. National Accounts Supervisor Tara Newbold explained that the difference between those numbers comes down to prices.
In 2018, the nominal figure, that is what the businesses made, that's what the households spent. When we look at your real, we're thinking about taking out the influence of price, taking out the inflation.
That distinction matters for households. While the economy grew on paper, many Bahamians are still measuring the economy through food bills, rent, gas, and everyday spending.
Well, the gap between national growth and what people feel in their household can be seen between the distance between the nominal and the real GDP. So that there is inflation. So in your household, the cost of living has an impact on your the actual money that you have.
National statisticians acknowledge real growth was driven mainly by financial and insurance activities, transportation and storage, accommodation and food services, and construction. The financial and insurance sector grew by about $203 million, or 20%, led largely by insurance. Construction increased by about $80 million, or 9%, with officials pointing to more completed building projects and higher imports of construction materials. Household expenditure also rose to about $8.4 billion in 2025, compared to $8.3 billion the year before. But on the question of diversification, Managing Director Dr. Jamiko Delaveau made clear the country's biggest economic engine has not changed.
Tourism is still the main bread basket item.
The full National Accounts Report for 2025 is expected to be released on the government's website within the next 30 days. For the Bahamas Tonight, I'm Lyle Maycock.
Lyle Maycock on the story tonight. Thanks much. Well, backbenchers, as they're called, have a critical role to play in Parliament. Not only are they to debate bills, but to scrutinize executive. But as former House Speaker Dr. Kendall Major explained, considering there are no real backbenchers, this presents a challenge.
It can affect the delivery of democracy and the level of the debate. As I mentioned, a large cabinet tends to cause, it couldn't, one advantage can be get a lot of work done. But a disadvantage, a real disadvantage is too much of the information stays within a small group of persons, and there's not this need to consult and communicate with the opposition. Because the role of a true backbencher is, I am with you being a member of your government, however, this is what I would suggest to improve our chances or our people.
An emotional, political, and social disconnect seemingly the driving force behind voter apathy, a phenomenon sweeping the region. Well, in this next report, our Maya Moss speaks to a few Bahamians and a cabinet minister on the burning issue.
The general election may be in the rear view, but ahead, a critical question lingers. Why aren't an increasing number of Bahamians not exercising their democratic right to vote? And numbers prove it. Despite the voter register reflecting a record-breaking 209,000 plus eligible voters, less than 140,000 people turned out on May 12th to cast their ballot. Well, we took to the streets. Here's what a few people shared with us.
People over the years get tired. I watched from me growing up, putting their faith in these government and stuff, and then they wasn't doing, you know what I mean? After they get their votes in and stuff, they go on their own run and disappear. So I think that's the reason, you know? Sometimes people realize like they got to depend on themselves.
Honestly, I don't think it would make much of a difference. I'm just trying to do what I have to do to provide for my family, and I don't think any of the parties would have been able to help me or support me with any of that.
The fact that quite a number of young Bahamians opted not to dip their finger in the electoral ink has drawn a response from Youth Minister, the Honorable Mario Boleg.
I always said, you know, you should stand on the sideline and complain about the side, you know, the political parties being the same. They're not the same. And I invite each and every one of them to do their research and check on all of the political parties that exist and try to find one that they can attach themselves with that they believe has the mindset of moving this country forward, whichever one that they see fit, and then come out and vote when the next election comes, because when they don't have a voice and take that opportunity to vote, then they should have nothing to say what happens and the decisions that is taking place in the next 5 years.
The minister insisted continued investment into young people remains critical as concerns grow over what some see as widening disconnect between youth and national engagement. Reporting for the Bahamas Tonight, I'm Amaya Moss.
Coming up, climate impacts, risk, and vulnerability adaptation ahead of the 2026 hurricane season. You're watching the Bahamas Tonight, the National Report. There's more after this.
It has the looks, the style, the performance. Your new car is everything you always dreamed of. Now it's here. Commonwealth Bank was happy to help put you behind the wheel with a new car loan at a competitive rate and fast, friendly approval. It's a service that just comes naturally to us, just like how love of tradition comes naturally to you. Commonwealth Bank, leader in personal banking services.
The week moves fast. Move smart with KFC. Monday, start with crunchy deals. Tuesday, you already know it's crazy. Wednesday, keep it under $10. Thursday, the Kentucky Crunch for $7.50. Friday, the meal deal for $9.85. Saturday night, we got you covered. And Sunday, no stove today. The fill-up box feeds the family. Outsmart the week with KFC.
Yeah. Let's make this moment last forever. Let's start a family together. With a house, a car, and kids. Oh, I love the way we live. I got it covered. BAF has got me covered. So live your life. BAF for life. So live your life. BAF for life. So live your life. BAF for life. BAF has got you covered. I know it.
You spend all that money on your watch.
It's all about the 4th of July. No lie. Tyrus Riley live. The place name, Grace Beer Marketplace, Turks and Caicos. Oh gosh! Niceness increase. I hear singer Tyrus Riley and the Black Style Band. 4th of July. The truth, I tell you no lie. Simple things are the blessing. The place name, Grace Beer Marketplace, Tyrus Riley and the Black Style Band. July 4th. Come to give you some more.
Beautiful shot of Robinson Road heading east with the clear view of Cable Bahamas and Rubis Service Station. That shot courtesy of our drone pilot, Shane Gibson. Well, the Bahamas and Cuba are strengthening cooperation in the fight against human trafficking. Bahamas Ambassador to Cuba, His Excellency Dr. Alliston Ramming, and Consul William Nottage recently met with Cuban immigration officials to discuss trafficking operations involving both countries. Officials say recent trends involve migrants from the Middle East, Asia, and Africa using the Cuba-Bahamas route as a transit point to illegally enter the United States, often through Bimini or Haiti. Cuban authorities pledge to continue sharing information and working closely with Bahamian officials to detect and stop trafficking operations before migrants reach the Bahamas. Ambassador Ramming reaffirmed the Bahamas' commitment to regional cooperation and the issue, calling human trafficking a major concern for the region. Although forecasters are predicting a quieter than usual hurricane season this year, weather officials say Bahamians should not become complacent ahead of the beginning of the season on June 1st. Alia Cooper has the details in this next report.
The National Oceanic and Atmospheric Administration, better known as NOAA, is calling for fewer storms across the basin this Atlantic hurricane season. But Bahamas Aviation Chief Meteorologist Jeffrey Simmons insists that Bahamians still make the same preparations.
We ask people to pay close attention to all of the advisories that are issued by the Bahamas Department of Meteorology whenever they are. All of the advice that's given by the Disaster Risk Management Authority, and to follow them closely. And it's the same every year, and don't wait until a watch or a warning is issued before you begin to prepare. We advise people to be prepared at least by June 1.
Simmons cautions that while activity may start off quiet, the season typically ramps up in August and September, meaning several systems could develop and move across the Atlantic during those peak months.
The season will only be below average for you if you're not impacted. If you are impacted, that's a well above hurricane season, especially you can see a Category 5. And of course, this year we are predicting at least 2 major hurricanes. And last year, even though we had a slightly below average season in 2025, there was actually 4 major hurricanes. 4 of them really were, about 3 of them were Cat 5.
And especially we all remember Melissa that came under damage that was done in Jamaica and eventually moved across to southern Bahamas, creating some damage also.
He also points out that history has shown the Bahamas can still take major hits, even in quieter hurricane seasons.
For instance, Hurricane Andrew in 1992, we never saw our first storm really until August, which was, into the peak of the season. And that, I think, was a slightly below average season. Like I said, last year was slightly below. And again, we saw Melissa pass across the southern islands, even though it was weakened somewhat by Jamaica and Cuba.
The 2026 Atlantic hurricane season officially begins June 1st and runs through November 30th. For the Bahamas Tonight, I'm Leah Cooper.
The Intergovernmental Panel on Climate Change Working Group 2 has been locked in meetings with the Office of the Prime Minister Climate Impact Unit all week. The meeting, consisting of about 240 attendees, discussed climate impacts, risk and vulnerability adaptation ahead of the 2026 hurricane season to develop the first draft of technical guidelines.
It's also important because the authors come from many different countries, and having them gather together in a place like Nassau is a good way of focusing their coordination, but also allowing them the space to engage with the city and with the environment. In particular, that we are in a small island state, and with the issues of sea level rise, with the issues of impacts, not just the physical impacts of climate change being apparent, but the cascading impacts to the local economy. I think a lot of the authors are aware of this, and it's in the back of their minds as they try to capture what their chapters want to do and translate that into action that can help adapt or reduce the risks from future climate change.
Chair Dr. Adele Thomas speaks to the significance of the meeting.
So this is the first time that the Bahamas, and indeed anyone in the Caribbean region, is hosting one of these IPCC lead author meetings. So it's incredibly momentous and important. It's great that the authors coming from over 80 different countries, about 300 people are here, are seeing the realities of climate impacts in a place like Nassau. We have recently with Hurricane Dorian, with the flooding, all of these show that climate change impacts are here and affecting people now. And so it really puts at the forefront of the authors' minds the urgency of coming up with climate action that can help people to deal with these changes.
This portion of the news is brought to you by folk called Smart Pass, the smart way to pay at the pump.
Bang ding. Ding bang ding. Ding ding bang. Bang bang bang. Ding bang ding. Ding bang ding. Ding ding bang. Bang bang bang. Ding bang ding. Bang bang. Ding bang ding. Ding bang ding. Ding ding bang.
Steak sandwich.
I really like the honey mustard sauce. And then like the crispy bacon on it as well.
Oh, it's pepper jack cheese.
I love the spice. I love the crunch.
I love the original sandwich, but just that simple addition of bacon was like over the top.
The chicken is really good.
I like it. I like it a lot.
I rate this a 10 out of 10. I'd eat this again.
Love that chicken from Popeyes.
Health is the greatest gift. That's where we come in. Bahamas Medical and Surgical Supplies is a premier distributor of medical equipment, as well as medical and surgical consumables. Our engineers are always on hand, providing top care service that saves lives. We carry a wide selection of over-the-counter and prescription items, IV fluids, and other injections. Our products are state-of-the-art, and our entire team stays on top of cutting-edge technology. With more than 2 decades of dedicated service, Bahamas Medical and Surgical Supplies continues to be a trendsetter and innovator in healthcare. We have set ourselves apart by truly caring for our customers. We understand the intricacies of healthcare, and we produce spectacular results. We cherish our partnerships and nurture our friendships as we continue on our quest to help everyone maintain that wonderful gift of good health. Find us on 95th Terrace, Centerville, and now located in the Lucaya Shopping Center of Freeport, Grand Bahama.
Introducing the Focal Smart Pass app that helps you to fuel up faster. Here's how it works. Download the app on the App Store or get it on Google Play and create your profile with payment details. Visit your nearest Shell station. Open the app, scan the pump's QR code, select your payment amount, and begin fueling. Say goodbye to cash and cards because the Focal Smart Pass offers secure and convenient payment options right at your fingertips. Download Focal Smart Pass now and fuel up faster today.
Well, I see Royston is riding solo tonight. Joins us live for a sneak peek of Access Now. Royston.
Good night, Desmond. How are you doing? Got any holiday plans? I am riding solo, but not to worry. We're going to have a full show, full entertainment Friday. But what are the holiday plans for you, man?
Just sleep, rest, relaxation.
The true adulting. If anyone knows me, I'm going to play some golf this weekend, so hopefully shooting maybe under 90, 95, anything under 100 is good. But speaking of numbers, one primary school is crunching the numbers for Numeracy Day. And also a Royal Bahamas Defense Force Marine cadet is getting the opportunity of a lifetime abroad. All coming up in Access Now tonight.
Good stuff. And I may join you in the golf course, all right?
That sounds good. Anytime you're ready, man. Anytime you're ready.
Well, stay with us. The Bahamas Tonight continues after this.
Tasha, what you saying? Girl, right here, rushing to catch JS Johnson. I gotta renew my insurance. Oh, I with JSJ too, but I don't wait in line. I just pay online. Stop it. How you do that?
Just email info@jsjohnson.com and say, sign me up for an online service center. They'll reach out and hook you up. You ain't never have to stand in line again.
Amen to that.
Save time. Pay online. Sign up for JS Johnson's online service center today.
Insurance, peace of mind.
At Marco's, we make it better. Better ingredients, better flavors, better quality. A signature sauce that families have always counted on. We are not only serving your family, but our families too. 2 medium, 1-topping pizzas with center squares or cheesy bread for just $29.95. When you want pizza you can trust, choose Marco's. Your family deserves the best. Marco's Pizza, crafted with heart and proudly shared with love.
My name is Omar Ferguson. I've been disabled now from 2009. What inspired me to start my own business? It was the determination to know that I still had something left in me, even though a lot of my independence, my mobility was being restricted. In my disability, it's kind of hard finding the investors or the capital. For example, national insurance. The benefit that we receive, it's a lifeline. And at any business that you're gonna take, it's gonna be a risk. We're not looking for handouts, but we want you to understand that we still need a little special care. This literally gives us a backbone that, hey, we could actually stand someday. This is the business I know it's gonna be a risk. Even going through that process, I'm still dependent on national insurance. Overall, being in the program itself, it's put me in a place where I feel young again. I feel like anything is possible. I would say to others with disabilities, look around your community, just like you guys said in one of the modules. See what is needed in your community and go for it. Don't be afraid, just go for it.
For more information about how the SBDC can help your small business to make a big impact, give us a call at 461-7232 or visit sbdcbahamas.com.
Well, that does it for the National Report. Stay close. The Bahamas Tonight continues with Access Now.
Throughout our lifetime, we must all make decisions. No matter how we choose, the right one just needs to be made. Like having J.S. Johnson Insurance Agents and Brokers as your insurance partner. We've been serving the Bahamas for over 100 years. Whether you need home, motor, marine, or commercial insurance, make the right decision. Call 397-2100 or visit jsjohnson.com.
JS Johnson Insurance, peace of mind.
Hi. Hello? Hey girl, I am Wendy's. I'm trying to go to Essence Fest. Wendy's and Coca-Cola want to take you and your bestie to New Orleans. July 3rd through 5th is Essence Fest, and you could be traveling VIP style.
Roxy?
Tenders?
Tenders.
All All you gotta do is upgrade any premium lunch combo 1 through 12 or a salad to a large, like a spicy number 6, add cheese and bacon, or a Dave's Classic, or my personal favorite, Tendies. This will now serve as your final boarding call for Flight 735, service into Essence Fest. Boarding now. Nola! We coming back?
Bahamas brought the heat to the Spice capital at the 53rd Carifta Track and Field Championships. Relive the magic here on the ZNS Network as we recap the top performances from Grenada. Catch the 2026 Carifta Track and Field Championships recap, May 31st, here on the ZNS Network.
Community farming soon to become a reality in Nassau's inner city. Plus, RBC's Young Leaders program is a huge success. Those details straight ahead. Also, numbers playing an important role at a local primary school. We'll tell you why. And in sports, the Sam Haven Soccer Championships are underway.
Bahamas Tonight Access Now starts now.
Good evening, everyone. I'm Royce Jones, and welcome to the Bahamas Tonight Access Now. We've made it to Friday officially, and if you know what doesn't get enough credit, the people who are quietly holding things together, advancing in their careers, showing up for family, helping friends, handling all those responsibilities, and while all keeping a positive disposition. It can be a mental juggling act at times, but honestly, and this is something to remember, sometimes just making it through the day is more than good enough, and you have to have some grace for yourself. Let's get right into the news. A once vacant strip of land in the Centerville area is now being put to better use for residents there. The Centerville Community Farm was officially unveiled Thursday. It's a project spearheaded by the Agricultural Development Organization and the Royal Caribbean Group Foundation. The program also receiving a major endorsement from the Ministry of Agriculture and Marine Resources through a $15,000 donation in farming equipment. Minister responsible, the Honorable Jomo Campbell, contends the move reflects a growing focus on strengthening local food access. He added that the project represents more than cultivated land, but an opportunity to help families stretch their dollars, reconnect with the soil, and keep generations of farming knowledge alive.
The Centerville Community Farm will serve as a hub for education, engagement, and empowerment. And it will encourage healthy living, community participation, and create opportunities for collaboration amongst residents, schools, youth groups, and a wide range of stakeholders. And so I say to the residents of Centerville, this is your farm. Protect it, support it, participate in it, and let it become a source of pride for our community and a symbol of hope for our nation.
What an excellent project in Centerville. Meanwhile, while the world grapples with rising climate threats and uncertain future, some of the nation's youngest voices are stepping forward with ideas they believe could help change what comes next. Amaya Moss tells us more about RBC's flagship youth development program.
Beneath bright lights and even brighter ambition, some of the nation's promising young minds stepping forward with visions they believe could one day help reshape the Bahamas. 30 schools across New Providence, including C.I. Gibson and R.M. Bailey Senior High Schools and St. Augustine's and St. John's Colleges, converged for the second annual RBC Youth Leadership closing ceremony on Friday, where climate change, innovation, and the future of a vulnerable world become becoming the focus of youthful imagination. Students were given 3 months to unveil ideas grounded in resilience, sustainability, and transformation, with each presentation carrying the hopes of each young person eager not only to be heard, but to leave their fingerprints on the future. RBC's Royal Bank's Managing Director and Personal Bank Vice President for the Bahamas, Turks and Caicos Islands, Erica Roll, emphasized how the initiative cultivates greatness among the nation's youth.
It's more than just trophies and prizes. It's also about these young individuals taking on real challenges, identifying them, and coming up with innovative and creative solutions to solve those problems. And that takes a lot of courage.
And for the students, the experience became more than a competition, but a reminder that even the smallest spark of an idea can one day grow powerful enough to illuminate an entire nation.
I believe that young people have a really great voice, and once adults get to hear what we have to say, it will really change the world.
I believe that this event is very important as it allows young people to feel like they have a voice and a chance to make an impact in our country.
RBC awarded more than $30,000 in cash and prizes during the closing ceremony. For the Bahamas Tonight, I'm Amaya Moss.
Inspiring the next generation of leaders. Thanks so much, Amaya. Meanwhile, St. Francis and Joseph School is pushing students to see numbers differently through projects, games, and hands-on activities. Numeracy Day is aimed to make math feel less intimidating and more useful beyond the classroom. Our Lyle Maycock reports.
2 plus 2 may equal 4, but at St. Francis and Joseph School, students are being taught that math adds up to much more than answers on a page. The school's Numeracy Day was built around one goal, taking the fear out of numbers and showing students how math moves through the world around them. Math specialist Corrine Fielden-Calvin explains.
Math is not just about numbers, but it's much more than that. It's about exploring. It's about coding. It's about measurement, statistics. It's even about taking reading.
The day included project displays, a coloring competition, outdoor games, and student-created work from pre-K through grade 6. For Principal Jacinta Goff, the point was to move math beyond the desk and into real life.
Rather than being in the classroom with the chalk and talk, they will be on the outside, exploring math through games and activities. Chefs, engineers, architects, all of those persons and so many more use math, but we want to show students how it is used so they're not afraid of it.
And that message was already landing with students who say numeracy is not just something they use in class. Grade 6 student Brielle Wood says math is helping her think like a young entrepreneur.
I love using it for counting my money, using it for my business, Andrea's Heartbeat, and much more. It will help me in my business by knowing how much money I have and where I want to get for stocks and prices. Yeah.
And for Avea Thompson, the lesson was simple. Math does not have to stay trapped in a textbook.
You can not only learn math from pen and paper, but from many different things and many different ways.
Organizers say the goal is to make math seem as something not to fear, but as a skill they can use every day. Reporting for the Bahamas Tonight, I'm Lyle Maycock.
Another inspiring story there. Thanks so much, Lyle. Meanwhile, the Royal Bahamas Defense Force Marine Seaman Michael Stubbs has received an appointment to the United States Coast Guard Academy in New London, Connecticut, as a member of the class of 2030. United States Ambassador to the Bahamas, His Excellency Herschel Walker, and Defense Force Commodore Floyd Moxey honored the officer for this achievement and the pride it brings to both nations during a recent recognition ceremony. Established in 1876, the U.S. Coast Guard Academy is one of America's premier military service academies, where cadets undergo a rigorous 200-week program evaluating academics, military bearing, physical fitness, character, and leadership. Marine Seaman Stubbs, the second Bahamian in over a decade to receive this honor, will receive a fully funded education valued at over $500,000 and will earn a Bachelor of Science degree upon graduation. Still to come, Holy Cross Anglican Church's rector to be officially inducted. And of course, Diane Dorset has your Access weather forecast for the weekend, so stay close for that.
Introducing Valvoline Restore and Protect, a first-of-its-kind innovation that returns pistons to factory clean, removing up to 100% of deposits, restoring your engine to perform like new. All new Restore and Protect, another first by Valvoline, distributed by Battery and Tire Specialists.
This May, make all of your savings dreams come true when you shop the specials at Super Value and Quality Supermarkets. Ginger Evans flour, 5 pounds, $3.99. Whole chicken wings, $1.69 per pound. Fresh pork, $2.39 per pound. Turkey wings, $2.99 per pound. Sweet seedless watermelons, $8.99 each. May the savings be with you at Super Value and Quality Supermarkets.
Bahamas brought the heat to the spice capital at the 53rd Carifta Track and Field Championships. Relive the magic here on the ZNS Network as we recap the top performances from Grenada. Catch the 2026 Carifta Track and Field Championships recap, May 31st, here on the ZNS Network.
Friday, the 22nd of May, and it's time for your Access weather forecast. Our summer leg weather pattern continues heading into this holiday weekend with hot afternoons, breezy conditions, and daily rain chances remaining in the forecast. Looking at our satellite picture, we're seeing patchy clouds over our islands, shifting eastward as the mid-level low pressure is slowly moving eastward over the Atlantic, so a few rounds of showers could be expected through tomorrow. But overall, the weather pattern changes very little through the holiday weekend and into next week. That is until a weak frontal boundary arrives. So for now, expect warm mornings, hot afternoons, and scattered showers. Now we're expecting high heat and UV indices, so remember to stay hydrated, wear sunscreen and protective clothing, and stay in shaded areas when you can. Now our boating forecast calls for winds southeast at 12 to 18 knots in the northwest and central Bahamas, seas at 3 to 6 feet. We'll get low tides at 7:40 this evening and again at 8:30 in the morning. Then in the southeast Bahamas tonight through Sunday, southeast winds at 15 to 25 knots, seas at 5 to 8 feet, and that small craft advisory still in effect. It is time now for your international temperatures, brought to you by Royal Star Assurance.
She ain't want no chicken snack. She want a brand new Benz idea with 215s in the back. Can't take off on no dinghy boat. She want drink wine on the yacht. Baby, everything you asking for, I can give you all of that. But I can need a little piece of that sweetness if you want to be financially free. Ain't gonna be every single day. Ain't gonna be every single week. No, don't think 'cause I'm 64. This old dog ain't be on heat. Yeah, I know that I'm not KB, but baby, I can need all of me.
That was your international temperatures, brought to you by Royal Star Assurance. And that wraps up your Access weather forecast. But join me again at 11 for a full weather update. Have a great weekend, everyone, and be safe.
With those winds in the southeast, I know the fishing is going to be really good in the western area. Thanks so much, Diane, as always. As Holy Cross Anglican Church prepares to welcome its 6th rector, Reverend Dr. Ethan Ferguson is reflecting on his spiritual journey, his calling to ministry, and the vision he hopes to bring to one of the country's historic Anglican congregations. Lloyd Allen sat down with him exclusively ahead of next month's installation service.
Coming up on June 6th, right here at Holy Cross Anglican Church, Reverend Dr. Ethan Ferguson will be sworn in as the 6th rector of this church. Now, building up to that time, he spoke with ZNS News exclusively about his journey in the ministry and what he hopes to accomplish over the course of his tenure right here at Holy Cross.
I was ordained as a deacon in 2006 at my home church, St. Margaret's in Camp Road. And then from being ordained as a deacon, I was placed here at Holy Cross to serve.
Anglican Diocesan Bishop, the Right Reverend Leish Boyd, was then the bishop, giving Dr. Ferguson his introduction to leadership before leaving to serve at a number of other parishes.
From there, I served in Central Andros, St. Stephen's Parish in Central Andros. A lot of people know it as Fresh Creek, where Crab Fest takes place. And then from Central Andros, I went on to Exuma, where I spent my longest tenure, almost 10 years. I served in Georgetown, Exuma at St. Andrews.
Deciding to dive deeper into ministry, Dr. Ferguson studied abroad pursuing a doctorate in theology, concluded in 2024, and has served as priest at Holy Cross ever since.
Holy Cross has been such a powerhouse for ministry for so many years. This is the home of the renewal movement of the diocese. This is the home for a lot of unique and creative ministries. We've been intentional about bringing our young adults back together. We've been intentional about growing the altar service ministry, the ACW, the Anglican Church Men. We've been intentional about reminding our leaders what we are here for.
As the June 6th installation inches closer, Ferguson says while it feels surreal to have achieved this feat at the age of 43, he is convicted that this is rooted in purpose.
I am particularly blessed to be walking and living in mine. And I encourage people to search that out and to find that, to tap into it. And it's not always easy to do that because sometimes, you know, it requires some deep digging, it requires serious reflection, it requires us really searching ourselves. And that is sometimes a difficult thing to do and a hard process to undergo. But I think the rewards far outweigh the struggles of that process.
Workers at the church are currently deep in the throes of Ferguson's installation preparations. Simultaneously, efforts are also in motion for the church's Diamond Jubilee.
We've been doing some things around the church to, you know, just give the church a little facelift and some TLC. You know, these buildings always need that, so we're constantly upgrading, constantly adding so that ministry can be more fluent and more impactful.
But as he looks forward to his new official appointment, he encourages all Anglicans and others to trust God and to pursue purpose in life. For the Bahamas Tonight, I'm Lloyd Allen.
Thanks for that great story, Lloyd. Stay with us. Sports with Amajal Knowles is right after this break.
Ruby's Ultra Tech in your car. Fill up with Ruby's Ultra Tech. Spend less and go far. Fuel up with Ruby's Ultra Tech. Get the most out every ride. Just watch your car perform with the best fuel inside. Fuel up with confidence in every mile. Get Ruby's Ultra Tech in your tank and drive with a smile. Watch your car perform with the best fuel inside. Fuel the difference with Ruby's Ultra Tech. We are here in the time of need. There's no discrimination. The mission is to relieve the suffering. We volunteer, we deliver care. With donors and partners, we're always here to turn compassion into action. Protecting life and health with our training throughout the years. We empower to heal the world. There is hope, assistance with disasters. There is shelter and love for our people. We can work together to help those in need. So volunteer with us and donate to show you care. There is hope, assistance with disasters. There is shelter and love for our people. We can work together to help those in need. So volunteer with us and donate to show you care. Together, let's build a more resilient Bahamas. Community farming for food security. Climate programs suited for our island country. Together, let's build a more resilient Bahamas.
This message brought to you by the Bahamas Red Cross Society in conjunction with the Broadcasting Corporation of the Bahamas.
Good morning and welcome. I'm Dr. Gale, and I'm inviting you to be a part of a journey where we open the Word of God to receive strength, to receive empowerment from the Scriptures as they have been written. Get your Bibles, get your cup of coffee or your tea, because this journey is gonna be great. This is your day of victory.
Welcome to your TGIF Sports, everyone. I'm Amajal Knowles, topping sports. The 2026 Sam Haven High School Soccer Championships officially kicking off yesterday at the Roscoe Davies soccer pitch. A look at the action with the first two games on the slate. On the girls' side will be a dominant performance by the Lyford Key Dragons as they would rout the C.I. Gibson Rattlers 6-0 with a dominant performance on both sides of the ball. Here's their head coach talking about the big win.
Good. The girls brought a lot of passion and energy. It's tough when a game is that lopsided to continue to play with energy and execute what we've been working on. So we, at halftime, knew that the game was pretty well in our hands, and so we used the second half to really try and get ourselves ready for what's to come, because we have plans to be in the championship game again this year.
Boys side, another stellar performance, this time from the Windsor Wolves, who would be tested early by the Dorst Johnson Mystic Marlins of the GSSA, but Windsor would put their foot on the gas pedal in the second half to cruise to a 6-0 win.
I thought the boys did well after a pretty poor start. I thought the first 20 minutes, Doris Johnson were probably the better side, and they could have scored. But eventually, our better quality, I think, players and our hard work through the season shone through. And people like our captain, Dylan Archer, and Caleb Holder really stepped up, and our striker, Thomas, really stepped up and delivered.
I feel great. I feel comfortable because today we started off pretty shy, and then later on to the end we started getting more comfortable, not playing as a team but as a family.
Other scores from yesterday, boys quarterfinals, Anatol Rogers, they would take down the St. Augustine's Big Red Machine 3-1, and the Lyford Key Dragons, also in boys, would shut out Government High School 1-0. Action continuing this evening over at the Roscoe Davies soccer pitch. In basketball news, the Bahamas men's national team gearing up for the latest window of the FIBA World Cup qualifiers slated for the first week in July, with the Bahamas expected to feature its full cadre of professional players as they take on Jamaica and Puerto Rico here at the Kendall G. Isaacs Gymnasium. BBF Vice President Moses Johnson tells us more.
Preparations are going very well. It's anticipating now we're finalizing the budgetary logistics and hopefully going out to try to seek some sponsorship. So if you know what the product is that we provide, and this would be a huge opportunity for the Bahamas as we look to qualify for the second round of the World Cup qualifiers, not only transcending that this will be so advantageous for the Bahamas as we're seeking to put one of our better teams on the floor. And so you'll have the likes of our NBA players with a few of our international players, and this will be a good collaboration and a good product that the Bahamian people would want to see.
And as for what's on the line for the national team,
so this is very crucial. So we're now sporting a 1-3 record. We're looking to try to tie our records at 3-3 so that we can move on to the second round. And moving on to the second round, that would be important because the records carry over. And so we'll play better teams. So the lower teams will drop out and the better teams will be still in play. So we look forward to crossover. We'll have a crossover between Panama, Argentina, and Uruguay. So we're looking forward to moving on and playing one of those persons, well, all of them, in 3 separate windows to try to get to the World Cup 2027.
That's been your TGIF Sports. I'm Amajal Knowles. Enjoy your weekend.
Behind every strong economy is a bold entrepreneur, and we're here to support them, island by island. On Eleuthero, we've helped 122 entrepreneurs turn their dreams into thriving businesses. Through over $3 million in approved funding, the SPDC is strengthening Eleuthero's economy by investing in its leading sectors: tourism, food and beverage, and agriculture. No matter the island, every business we support strengthens the economy, starting with yours. SPDC, Bahamas.
What does disability look like? In a busy airport terminal? At the check-in counter? At security checkpoints? Or even in baggage claim? Passengers with hidden disabilities often go unnoticed. Globally, 1 in 7 persons have some form of a disability. 80% of those disabilities are non-visible. In an airport environment, workers are often unaware of hidden physical, mental, or neurological disabilities that some passengers live with. This can lead to frustration and a less than ideal travel experience. So, how do we make the invisible more visible? At LPIA, we've implemented the Sunflower Lanyard program. The lanyards are visual cues for airport workers to immediately identify passengers who might need additional assistance. NAD is teaming up with the National Commission for Persons with Disabilities and key stakeholders at LPIA to launch the internationally recognized initiative. We're joining more than 180 airports and 26 countries already in the program. NAD is the first organization in the Bahamas to recognize the Sunflower Initiative. It's a way to show our continued commitment to making LPIA a safe, welcoming, and inclusive airport for all. Passengers needing to secure a free Sunflower lanyard can email sunflower@nas.bs or call 1242-397-8600. For more information, visit www.nassauLPIA.com.
You're looking at a drone shot of the Mall and Marathon located at the intersection of Marathon and Robinson Roads in eastern New Providence. It serves as a central hub for retail, dining, and community entertainment. That shot courtesy, of course, by our drone pilot, Dean Shea Gibson. And it's time now for your Entertainment Friday, and we want to replay a previous performance by Bahamian entertainer Cupid. Take a listen.
You know what time it is? All the way! Come on, baby. Hurt me, hurt me, hurt me. Hurt me with the music. Hurt me with the music. Let it flow. Way to go. Hurt me with the music. Feel a fire. Hot, 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 hot. Oh Lord, so hot. You uncircumcised man, the world will know what you do. One shot, one chance, this music will make you dance. Ay, 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 ay. I want you to hurt me. Ay, 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 ay. I want you to hurt me. Ay, 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 ay. Oh, baby, come hurt me. Ay, 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 ay. Hurt me, hurt me, hurt me. Hurt me with the music. Oh, Lord, hurt me with the music. Hurt me, hurt me, hurt me. Oh, hurt me with the music. Oh, Lord, hurt me with the music. Call it, bring the music. Ay, 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 ay. I want you to hurt me. Ay, 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 ay. Oh, baby, come hurt me. Ay, 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 ay. I want you to hurt me. Ay, 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 ay. Oh, baby, come hurt me. Ay, 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 ay. I want you to hurt me. Ay, 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 ay. Oh, baby, come hurt me. Ay, 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 ay. I want you to hurt me. Ay, 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 bring in the music. Goat skin and glory.
Excellent performance here, of course, as Hurt Me with the Music by Cupid. That's going to do it for us here at Access Now for tonight. Of course, with the Whit Monday holiday, we'll see you same time, same place on Tuesday, May 26th. Good night, everybody, and have a great weekend.
At the 66 Steps, I'm Matea Cunningham. This is ZNS.